Today we're checking out the Bring Arts Kingdom Hearts Free Shadow 2 pack. So thank you guys so much for taking the time to check out this video. Hope you guys are having an awesome day, and let's get into it. Hey, what is going on guys? Today we're checking out the Bring Arts Kingdom Hearts Free Shadow 2 pack. So thank you guys so much for taking the time to check out this video. Any and all support you guys drop in this video is much appreciated. Leave a suggestion in the comments below for what video you guys want to see next, and be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. So let's take a look at the packaging. So here's the front of the box. We have a nice window display to showcase the figures inside the packaging with all their accessories. And here's a look at the sides of the packaging. It's pretty plain, as with most Bring Arts Kingdom Hearts figures. And here's a look at the back of the box. So we have some screenshots of the figures in various poses, and down here we have some text, credits and logos on the making of the figure. Okay, and so here's a quick look at the packaging for my other Bring Arts Kingdom Hearts Free figures. So let's take a look at what we have here. So first up, we have the second form Sora figure. Next up, we have the Pirate Sora. Here we have Kairi and Riku, and down here we have the King, Axel, the Shadow 2 pack, another form Cloud Strife, and another form Sephiroth. So yeah guys, there's a quick look at the packaging for the other figures in the series. And so here's a quick look at the inside of the box. And so let's take a look at what we have here. So first up, we have the figures themselves. They look like very cool figures, can't wait to check them out. And here we have a few pairs of interchangeable hands and various other body pieces. So yeah, there's a quick look at the packaging and the accessories. Let's go ahead and get these figures out of the box and we'll take a closer look. So yeah, stay tuned guys. Alright guys, and so here are the figures out of the packaging. And yeah, these are very nice figures. I really do like them a lot. These are the very first Heartless figures which Square Enix have ever made. They never made any Heartless as Players Kai figures, so I'm super happy that they decided to make some Heartless for the Kingdom Hearts Bring Arts line. And yeah, they turn out really nicely. They're super nice figures, nice sculpts and nice paint jobs. So yeah guys, let's go ahead and take a closer look at the Bring Arts Kingdom Hearts Free Heartless 2 pack. Stay tuned guys. Alright, and so let's go ahead and take a look at the figures. So here are the head sculpts. As you can see, the sculpting on these figures are very smooth looking. There's really not much textures on these figures whatsoever. It's a pretty plain design. It's very smooth looking, and both of the figures are pretty much the exact same. I don't really see any differences on either of these figures. So yeah, I think they're both the exact same sculpts, which I've got no problem with. I mean, they're pretty identical in the game, so I guess it matches pretty closely to the figures. But yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at the sculpting. So let's get a little close up on the head sculpts. Yeah, I love how they did the eyes. As you can see, the eyes are made out of like a translucent type of material, and they look as if they're almost glowing, which just adds to a really nice effect. I think it would have been super cool if they added like a light up feature on these figures. I think that would have been such an awesome feature. They are done pretty nicely, and I'm very happy with how they turned out. I really hope that they make more Heartless figures and Nobodies. That would be super cool to see a whole lineup of Heartless and Nobodies. So yeah, fingers crossed that Square Enix make a lot more of these Kingdom Hearts figures. So here's a look at the head sculpts. I've got to say, I really love the design of these Heartless. I mean, they're such simple designs, but they just work so well. And they're actually some of my favorite characters from Kingdom Hearts. I just absolutely love the design, and I think they're very cool looking characters. So yeah, I really do like these a lot. Here's a look at his eyes, and you can see his antenna pieces. It actually has a bit of articulation in there, so I'll give you guys a demo on the articulation a little bit later on. But as you can see, the whole figure has quite a lot of articulation, which is pretty good, but it does sacrifice the sculpt. I mean, don't get me wrong, the sculpting is still pretty good, but I think the articulation is just a bit too noticeable for my liking. So let's take a look at the body piece. So as you can see, the body piece is very round. It's got very round shapes on these characters. And here's a look at the hands. The hands are quite nicely done. As you can see, he's got 2 fingers and 1 thumb, which is a very unique design. And it's pretty much the exact same on the other figure. And moving down here to the legs and the feet. And so here's a look at the sides of the figures. And I guess here's a look at the side profile of the face. I love the antenna pieces. It's very cool looking. They've got a nice shape to them. And so moving down here to the arms and the hands. Once again, super smooth textures. And down here's a look at the bottom of the legs. The other figure is pretty much the exact same as I mentioned, but I'll just give you guys a quick look in case you guys want to check it out. So yeah, there's the sides of the figures. And just a super quick look at the other side of the figures. So once again, here's a look at the side of the head sculpt. I love the eyes, it's a perfect color. Once again, here's these antenna, or like whatever you want to call them. I'm not sure of the specific proper name of these pieces at the top of his head. I think they're antennas, but I'm not 100% sure. And moving down here to the arms and the hands, the body piece and the legs. And so here's a look at the back of the figures. So yeah, really not much going on here. It's pretty much just a plain figure at the back. There's really nothing going on here at all. But let's take a look. So here's the back of his head. Once again, super smooth looking. No textures at all. But I guess they were very smooth in the game, so it's pretty screen accurate. And here's the back of the figures. I can almost see like some type of like muscle definition on his back, like around the shoulder blades. I'm not sure if it's just me, if that's intentional or what that is, but it looks like some type of muscle definition in there. So I guess there is a bit of detail on these Heartless figures. But yeah, there's a look at the back of the figures, and here's the bottom of the feet. Okay, and so here's a demo on the articulation for the figures. So yeah, as I mentioned, the figures have a whole bunch of articulation. I think it's almost a bit too much because, as I mentioned before, it does ruin the sculpt on these figures. So I think they could have did with a bit less articulation. But anyhow, let's go ahead and take a look at the articulation. So pretty much both of the figures have the exact same sculpt. So I'll cover one figure of the articulation, and it's pretty much the exact same for the other figure. So let's get our Heartless figure to the side for the moment. And yeah, let's take a look. So right here at the head, he has a pretty large ball joint. It's probably like the largest ball joint that I've seen for a head sculpt on any figure. But yeah, there's how it looks. Pretty nice range of motion. Here at these like antennae pieces, or whatever they're called, it's got a ball hinge joint in there. And of course, they can rotate. You can pretty much go any which way you want. And it's moving on here to the shoulders of the figure. He's got ball hinge joints here as well. So once again, they can go up and down, forward and back. Can extend all the way out. Quite a nice range. And as for the elbow, he has a single hinge joint, and his hands pop off pretty easily as well. That's one problem with these Bring Arts. They have far too small peg joints, especially for the wrists. And here at the wrist, of course, he has peg joints, which is it actually gives quite a nice range of motion. As for the body piece, this is a bit of a mess here. There's so much going on. Basically, he has a ball joint in the torso and a ball joint at the waist, but they kind of overlap, so I don't really like this joint, and it kind of disrupts the sculpt as well. I don't really like these joints here particularly. I also must mention that the torso piece and the waist area are made out of like a softer piece of plastic, so as you can see, they're kind of bendy, which just really allows for the articulation to move a bit more freely. As for the hips, he has ball joints in there. These are, I guess they kind of move pretty well, but they still feel quite restrictive. He's got a swivel joint at the thigh, and he's got a ball hinge joint at the knee. And as for the ankle, once again, ball hinge joints, and he's got a hinge joint at the, I guess the toe or the foot. So yeah, there's a look at the articulation for the Heartless figures. And so as for the accessories, as you can see, we have so many accessories here. Whole bunch of hands and interchangeable antenna pieces. I'm not going to do this because they're pretty much the exact same. I really don't know why they included so many. It's just in different poses mainly, so I guess if you want to like give a different expression on the figure, you could swap out the antenna pieces, but I think these default antenna pieces are pretty much the best. So yeah, there's a look at the accessories for the figures. Alright, and so here's a look at my entire collection of Bring Art's Kingdom Hearts figures. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we have here. So first up we have the Riku figure. Next up we have the normal version of Sora. And here at the back we have another form Cloud Strife, and we have the another form Sephiroth. Next up here we have the Axel figure, and here we have Kairi. And here is the Pirate Sora. And back to the front we have the Shadow 2-pack, and we have the King, Mickey Mouse. The only figures yet to be released are Roxas, Ventus, Aqua, and Xion, so yeah, I really cannot wait to add those figures to my collection. So yeah guys, these are very cool figures. I mean, if you guys are a big fan of Kingdom Hearts, then I think you would really enjoy these figures. I mean, any fan of Kingdom Hearts would really love some Heartless figures. And of course, they're very iconic to the Kingdom Hearts franchise. So if you collect these Bring Art's Kingdom Hearts figures, then you gotta pick up these Heartless. They're super cute looking, and yeah, very nice figures. So yeah guys, that was a look at the Bring Art's Kingdom Hearts free Heartless 2-pack. So thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a suggestion in the comments below for what video you guys want to see next, and be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. So yeah, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, and I will catch you guys on the next video. Alright, take it easy guys.